What's up, guys? All right, so what I'm going to do is this is going to be part two of the Neziah Harris case. And just a little recap. Neziah came up missing January 9th, 2024. To this day, her body still has not been found, but the police are feeling like that she they have guaranteed evidence that she is no longer here. Um, Jarvis Butts, now 42, is on trial. Will soon be facing trial for her disappearance and murder. The last time that Neziah was seen was actually with him at his shop. She got off the school bus, and once she got off the school bus, he picked her up at some point, and then they went back to his auto shop where he worked. And there has been two people that has testified that she was there at the shop. But he is saying that he hadn't seen her since 2 weeks prior. So it's just a mess. Also, her family. I mean, Neziah grew into a family of SA. I'm just gonna say that, and it just trickled from one generation to the other, starting with her grandmother down to her mother, and then now Neziah. So her family support system just did not exist. Her grandmother and her aunt has already, one of her aunt, yes, has already testified in the hearing. And, just by their testimony and just by the things that I'm finding out afterwards, I'm sorry. I feel like Anaya's grandmother and her aunt are totally involved with her disappearance. Her aunt has 5 children by Jarvis. The daughter, one of the daughters that she has by Jarvis, he also violated, and he gave her chlamydia. 4 years old. She was only 4 years old, so that lets you know he's messing with these young girls, however many they were. Not only that, multiple women. He had baby mamas on top of baby mamas. Plus, he had a fiance, and I think he was married. So he was just basically just out here, just not covering up anything. So anyway, so after later on today, I learned that during the hearing, a 9-year-old testified, and that 9-year-old that testified was Shannon's twin sister, daughter, and she testified how she, at the shop, how she entered the room and she saw, the two, in action or whatever, and that she actually saw it a couple times, and then on a third time that they were there, he actually also tried with her, and she just kept refusing. So eventually, he just took her home, and her father did a live on Facebook. I'm gonna have to find you that video. I'm gonna probably try to drop it on my page. But I'm telling you, the stuff he had to say made perfect sense. And he didn't hold anything back. And it also confirmed that the mother, which was actually the grandmother, and Shannon were involved with Nazia's disappearance because they know more than what they act like they knew when they testified in that hearing in court. They portrayed like they didn't know what was going on, or they didn't know this, they didn't know that. They knew more than what they said they knew. And actually, come on and think about it. Like, Shannon had 5 kids by this dude. And actually, he started messing with Shannon when she was 16. So, and then before he even messed with Shannon, he was messing with her twin sister. So, when she finds out that he's messing with her niece, oh yeah, that made her really feel some type of way. Yeah, he had baby mom, he had other children by other women and stuff like that. You know, those are women. You know, it ain't gonna be as easy for her to be stepping up in their face, being all bold about it or whatever. But a child, and this is her niece. Come on now, come on, yeah. So Nazia, she didn't have a chance. She just didn't stand a chance. And I think, I think grandma didn't know what was going on because grandma was always in her bedroom. She don't know who came in and out that house, what was going on, who was doing. I mean, because if you think about the text messages, I mean, it was clear that he was in that house with the places that they were texting that they were going to meet to have their encounters. So grandma was just tapped out, strictly tapped out. But I'm going to get started with a little video, just a little recap. I hope I can do this a whole lot better today than I did yesterday, because yesterday, y'all, it's not good at all. Not good. But it's okay. It will get better. All right. This is what I want you guys to see.
Of killing her, Jarvis Butts will be arraigned on murder charges. Our Sean Lay has covered this case since his arrest, and tonight takes us inside the case. Sean?
3 names to remember here. Zion Foster, Detroit teen. There was a search for her right at this very Lenox Township landfill. Now, Ashley Elkins, there's a search going on for her right now at this same landfill. Naziah Harris, there was not a search here at the landfill. A chief investigator on that case is also here, however. There's a search for her Metro Detroit wide. Let's focus on Naziah Harris right now and catch you up on the things you did not know about that disturbing case. Detroit should never forget the name Naziah Harris. Now, just take a moment and look at the last photo taken of this child. Naziah Harris was a child. She was 13 years old. Study her face. Look at the light in her eyes. Naziah took this final photo of herself at school January 9th, 2024. She was never seen again. Prosecutors believe she was pregnant. She was brutally murdered. The child's body has never been found. When charges were brought, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy highlighted this photo in a heartbreaking way.
She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
The next thing Detroit should never forget is how 36th District Court Judge Aaliyah Sabri at a hearing last week called out many adults in Naziah's life, saying they also failed this child.
From what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love.
But Judge Sabri went further about how family members and Detroit also failed this little girl before she even mentioned the name of the man sitting in front of her, Jarvis Butts, the man at the center of a 5-day hearing. Bit by bit, prosecutors here worked to connect the dots that Butts allegedly abused Neziah over a long period of time sexually, allegedly controlled her life. Prosecutors say Butts got Neziah pregnant, and the judge said she believes all of the evidence shows Butts allegedly tried to abort the pregnancy himself. But the judge says she believes Butts injured Neziah and then murdered her.
He intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
But without finding Neziah's body, investigators focused on Butts, and they had to find his cell phone. Butts told police he had nothing to hide and told police to go through his phone.
Things in my phone, y'all have possession of my phone. Take a look at it, go through it. So I don't know. I don't know what that's. I don't know.
On his cell phone, but that's where Detroit police data experts dug in. Expert after expert detailing in court how they extracted all of the deleted material from his phone, his web searches, how to abort a pregnancy using antifreeze, and then the thousands upon thousands of text messages he sent to Neziah. Detroit Police Sergeant Shannon Jones and her team got those deleted texts, and for hours, Jones read hundreds of those texts in court, text after text showing a 42-year-old man in complete control of a 13-year-old girl.
He sends her a text that says, "Are you naked yet?" She replies to him and says, "No, I don't want to get naked." She replies, "Are you mad that I didn't get naked?"
5 days of this preliminary hearing, Butts was hunched over behind his lawyer with a mask on. I watched him for 4 days. He never looked up once. Jarvis Butts, the last person prosecutors say who was with Neziah. The final person, the judge says, who failed Neziah Harris.
And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture.
Amen.
Being in there every single day was chilling every single day. If you're watching right now and your phone's next to you, take a moment, grab the phone, open up the camera, take a look at that QR code with that camera that's on your screen right now. That'll link you right to click on Detroit.com and all those text messages, the thousands of them presented into evidence and much more on this horribly disturbing case. Guys, this gives us a chance to talk about all the people who are missing right now in the city of Detroit. So many people missing. I've been asking Detroit police for a week, just give me a number of people who are missing right now in the city. They've not been able to provide the number because it keeps changing, and the team that goes out looking for the missing people are out looking and still have not had a chance to compile the number. That's how big the big picture here is, how many people are missing in this city. We'll continue to follow the Neziah Harris case. So disturbing, so sad. Back to you.
It's horrific. All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Sean.
Our other top story tonight at 5, the man charged in the murder of Neziah Harris is back in court today as chilling new evidence was presented in the case.
Jarvis Butts faces multiple charges involving multiple abuse victims. He's charged with Harris's murder, even though her body has never been found. Let's get out to Sean Lay. And Sean, prosecutors have presented a mound of evidence over the past few days.
So much of that evidence included on a cell phone they say belongs to Jarvis Butts, the defendant in this case. Let's get to it right here. They're talking about Butts looking up ways to abort a pregnancy because they believe he got this 13-year-old girl pregnant during months or years of sexual abuse. Ways of like drinking red antifreeze or drinking herbal tea. That's just scratching the surface of what happened here at 36th District Court today. New right now, this is 42-year-old Jarvis Butts, and prosecutors are laying out horrific details that Butts allegedly is an incredibly dangerous and damaging child sexual predator. He already has been bound over to face trials for the sexual abuse of one minor and another young girl who just happens to be his own daughter. Now we come to the crushing case of Neziah Harris, just 13 years old, a girl who should be having fun, sharing selfies with friends. She took this selfie last January 9th while she was at school.
She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
Goodbye, because Harris's Instagram messages show Jarvis Butts, who considered himself the girl's uncle but was not, made plans to pick her up from her bus stop after school that day. She was never seen or heard from again. Prosecutors say she was murdered, and Butts, who had an ongoing relationship with this 13-year-old girl, killed her because he got her pregnant. And if that came to light, so would the sexual abuse of this little girl. This is very much like the sad case of Zion Foster, allegedly sexually assaulted by her own cousin, killed, her body dumped, and never found. Zanaya Harris's body has never been found. But in court this week, Assistant Wayne County Prosecutor Tina Ripley has carefully laid out evidence from skilled DPD investigators pinging Butt's phone to the banks of the Rouge River, where some of Harris's clothing and one of her shoes were found. All right, back out live here at 36th District Court. This 4-day pretrial hearing, preliminary hearing, I should say, it's not a trial, it's a preliminary hearing, is going to enter another day tomorrow. Here's why. Investigators and the prosecutors here are just so carefully linking up everything they have to connect the dots to Butts. And so much of that is through cell phone data. And that's what they're exactly doing here, because they don't have the body of Zanaya Harris. Much more on this coming up at 6 o'clock. We're live downtown. Sean Lay, Local 4. Yeah.
Hey, actually, that was an old news report. But I wanted to, let me put Nazaya on the board. And I want to remind you, when you see her, she is only 13. Well, she turned 14 on the 16th of September. So, and this is Nazaya. And like I said, just remember, she was only 11 years old when she was first violated. And she was first violated by her uncle, which was her grandmother that adopts her, that has adopted her, her brother. So, and I think he was the one that they were saying that was high functioning autistic, because he looked like he was autistic. But the video is horrible. Like, he's dancing with her in a TikTok video, and I mean, she looks like a baby, and he's dancing with her in this TikTok video, drinking beer and kissing all over her neck. Like, that is just not appropriate, period. So anyway, Nazaya started being violated by her uncle, and then she starts being around Jarvis, and then Jarvis starts preying on her. And it's actually around about the same age, not long after her uncle starts preying on her, he started preying on her. So it was right around, I think, when she was about to turn 11, I think, when he actually started preying on her. Because they said that it started like in September of 2022, and her birthday is in September. So, but anyway, regardless, she's still too young, period. But he started preying on her, and, you know, and then for that to happen to a young girl, and then, you know, the big thing is people was saying, you know, about some videos and stuff that they seen that she had put on social media, that she was fast. No, Nazaya was doing what she was taught. She knew no better. You cannot fault her for that, period. She was doing what she was taught. And it's wrong for anybody to say that she was being fast, because no, a child that age, going through different changes in her life, being violated twice before she's even 12 years old, 2 different people, and by the text messages, she was well experienced. I mean, Nazaya was taught bad behaviors, period. There ain't no other way to look at it. So I wanted to show you guys the video first before we do that. Her aunt. Now, the one in the pink is Shannon, and then the one in the blue is her twin sister, Marquita. Okay, so, and the one in the middle with the black on is the grandma. All right, so remember, I don't know about Marquita, but I really do believe that Shannon and that grandma knows more than what they think. Now, I don't know if grandma, you know, I'm thinking, you know, maybe she just done covered something up. She just, you know, covered up. And she's probably covering up because this baby's supposed to be in her care legally. So, of course, she's going to act like she don't know what's going on. Of course, she's going to cover stuff up. She ain't going down for nothing if she can help it. But anyway, it has been said that Shannon and Marquitas, what kind of damn twin names is that? Shannon and Marquita. But anyway, Shannon and Marquita children have been taken away. Now, Shannon has 5 by Jarvis, the one that has violated Neziah. And actually, she had her last one shortly after Neziah came up missing. So that lets you know, okay, all right, did she find out that Neziah was pregnant too? And, seen some messages or some stuff that, between them, and found out that something was going on? I mean, because, like I said, for her to be, that's supposed to be somebody she's messing with, and to find out that her niece is messing with him, and now her niece is pregnant, oh yeah, she's feeling some type of way. But anyway, her kids and her sister's kids, Marquita's, have been taken. Supposedly they have been taken. Now, Marquita has 2 kids. They're not by Jarvis, but he did try to violate one of her daughters that has testified against him in court. But Marquita and Shannon is saying that he's innocent. Your daughter is saying that this guy has done it. She has been brave enough at 9 years old to get up and testify against him in court. And you still saying that this man is innocent. Okay. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all the video of his co-worker. Jarvis had a co-worker. And I wanted to show you. Now, he's in and out of He's in and out of jail all the time. It looks like, looking at his record, like he's got multiple gun charges, so he's in and out of jail all the time. He's not. I don't think he was in jail at this moment for anything related to this. I think he was in jail related to something else. But I want to show you the video because Jarvis is trying to say that those kids, like, she wasn't there, like she didn't come there. He hadn't seen her since 2 weeks prior when she was at her grandma's house getting her hair done. So this just proves that this testimony of his coworker proves that he lied about that, and that the girls were at the shop all the time, plus others. Because like I said, he had multiple women, so. Guys, if you have not already done so, please share this video so we can get the awareness out on the case of Neziah Harris. The trial hasn't been set. I haven't seen a trial date yet, but I tell you this, I cannot wait until it goes, because boy, it's going to be good, good, good. Now his real name is Wardell, but he goes by King.
Cordells.
Let me get this up for you.
Yes.
And what's your nickname?
King.
Is that K-I-N-G?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. How old are you?
37.
When's your birthday?
11/17.
And Mr. Wright, on January 2024, were you on a MBOC test?
Yes, I was.
And what dates were you on test from?
From March 14th.
Here we go with this mess again. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen with you. Hold on.
And what were your
I could leave the house from 6 in the morning and I'd be back in by 9 p.m.
Do you have someone named Jarvis?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Jarvis?
I first met him. We worked together at a shop called Frank's, and then we owned the shop together.
And do you see Jarvis before
It's so irritating, man.
No.
Yeah. Were you able to stand up so you can look around?
Yes.
Hold on, guys.
'23 sometime.
Okay. Would it be earlier in the year or later in the year?
Maybe maybe in May. Well, maybe April, May.
And then where did you guys work then?
We got a shop together on 9,000 Connor.
And what is at 9,000 Connor?
A sicko, a car wash, and our shop was in the middle of both.
You know my address?
Yes.
Mr. Gray, I'm handing you what's marked for people proposed exhibits 7 and 8. Can you look at those and tell me if you recognize them?
Yes, I don't know.
Okay. And are those a fair and accurate depiction of your shop at 9,000 Connor?
Yes, it is.
And you're not with the admission of people's proposed exhibits 7 and 8?
No objection. You'll be admitted as people's exhibits 7 and 8.
Thank you. Who did you, and who was it that you mainly worked with at 9,000 Connor?
I'm sorry.
Who was it that you worked with at 9,000 Connor?
Jarvis.
I want to take you back to when you were working at Frank's with Mr. Butts. Did you ever see Mr. Butts with any children there?
Yes.
And specifically, did you see him with any young girl children?
Yes.
And did you know who those were?
Yes.
Who were they? Who were they?
His daughter, his niece.
Daughters and niece. What about any boys?
Yes.
Okay. And who were they?
His sons.
How often would you see him? With the children there at Frank's?
Sporadically.
And at 9,000 Connor, did you see Mr. Butts with any children then?
Yes.
Any girls?
Yes.
And who would they be?
His daughter.
And what about any boys?
Yes.
Who would they be?
His sons.
And how often would you see him with children at 9,000 Connor?
Sporadic.
And as it relates to this case, it's fair to say that you spoke with Detroit police a few times?
Yes, about 4.
About 4 times? Okay. That first time that you talked to Detroit police, do you recall about when that was?
The first time was the day before Valentine's Day, so like February 13th.
February 13th, and is that of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and at that time, were you presented with a jail call?
Yes.
Okay. And who was that jail call with?
Jarvis.
Okay. And who was he talking to?
Me.
All right. And what was the topic of that jail call?
He called to ask would I receive a cell phone out of a truck for him.
And were you familiar with what truck he was asking you to get it from?
Yes.
What truck was that?
It was a Z71 Chevy Suburban.
And did you know who that truck belonged to?
Yeah, his baby mom or somebody he was dealing with.
Okay. And do you recall listening to that jail call?
Yeah, I recall.
Okay. If I would move to admit the jail call from, I believe it's February 8th, 2024, between Mr. Wright and Mr. Jarvis Butts.
Any objection?
No objection.
What's the exhibit number on that?
Sorry, that's exhibit number 1.
It'll be admitted as if it's exhibit 1.
Thank you, Judge. And may I publish?
Yes, I didn't co-host.
Thank you, Judge. And for the record, I am playing People's Exhibit 1.
That's it.
This is a one-time free 3-minute call from an inmate at Woody County Jail. Your phone is not set to collect calls. This call has been provided by Helming as a courtesy for friends and family. You cannot receive additional calls from this inmate until you call repeated calls. We can take your credit or debit card information over the phone and connect you immediately back to your calls. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. Press 1 to accept all communications from this. Thank you for using Helming.
My guy, what's up, man? Nah, shit, man. How you feeling? My bad, I missed your call. I was working like a motherfucker.
I figured they said you was up there, bang. They said something, bang.
Yeah, you know it.
What's up, my nigga? What's up, Tim? What's up, boy?
You know it.
And and shit. Man, I'm calling, man. These bitches, they put my money on my fucking books, bro.
Oh yeah, take a minute for them to put that shit on there. Even if you walk in with it, man, they be playing it crazy.
Yeah, man.
I swear to God, they got a machine and shit. You show you straight, you need some. I mean, I'm getting a couple hours for that.
Yeah, you know, I had money on my books, nigga. You know, I came in with money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they put this shit on my hookup. I was looking on the tablet. I didn't come up $0. That's some bullshit.
No one put shit on his book.
That shit crazy.
Yeah.
How is it though?
Man, that's some bullshit. I'm really gonna be quarantined on this whole shit, bro.
Oh yeah, they got you on that quarantine club for how long? 3 days?
I don't know how long, nigga. Shit, I'm about to be the only one in this bitch on my part.
You say what happened?
I said, shit, I'm about to be the remember me and young enough in this motherfucker. We want these boys on this bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
What you need?
Huh?
No, I was trying to tell you what that customer needs. Man, listen. You straight?
Yeah, my nigga.
Huh?
So yeah, I'm good, oh shit, yeah. You got passion number, right?
Yeah.
So Dig, I need you to call her one thing and get that truck up there, nigga. Get my phone out there back seat, bro.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm supposed to get the truck up there. What I'm supposed to tell her?
Tell her you fuck around and lost your car that there too when we was moving the radio.
Okay.
See.
All right.
We have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Reach my hand that back seat.
Yeah.
So you reach behind that back seat, bro. The box right there. Straight behind the middle of that back seat, bro.
Okay, under it or in the back or in the back
In
thing?
the back, like right in the back of the seat, bro.
Okay.
On the second row.
I need the key. You know you took the key. You took the key to the gate.
It's the same key.
I don't got that key to it.
Yeah, you do. It's the same key to the lock at the door.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, it's the same key, bro.
Now, you know I got to. I'll put the money on the phone later, man. When I get around, baby, I will put the credit card.
If you need it on that, I call my wife and have her bring it up to you.
No, I don't need it though. If you said the same one, I got it. So I don't need it right now.
Y'all heard what he said? I'll call my wife and tell her to bring it up her to you. Now the vehicle he's talking about wasn't his vehicle. Somebody else's vehicle he used, but he must have lost his phone in it or lost some type of something he lost in it, and it was important that he get it out. So that's why he was calling this guy, which was his coworker, to go up there and get it out. But when he got up there, it was gone. So I don't know if somebody else got it or if the police had already got a hold of the vehicle and checked it or whatever. But when he got there, it was gone.
Anyway, just want to get the scrap out of there.
Okay.
And Mr. Wright, were you successful in getting that cell phone from the vehicle like Mr. Budd asked you to?
She came up there, but no, I wasn't successful. It wasn't there.
Wasn't there? Okay.
When we say she, who you refer to?
Tasha,
And who's Taki that you know of?
his baby mom.
Okay. Did you look for it in the vehicle?
Yeah, I looked for her.
Okay. And you were unsuccessful in finding it?
Yes.
Gone.
And Mr. Wright, I want to talk to you now about the second time that you were speaking with Detroit police. Would that be fair to say that was just a couple days after your first time?
It was not long, a few weeks maybe. I was off tether at that point, I believe.
Okay. And do you recall talking about fixing a red Jaguar and going to Ypsilanti?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about how many times did you and Mr. Butts go to Ypsilanti?
I believe it was either 2 or 3.
All right. And how did that come about? Whose red Jaguar is this?
My son's grandma.
Your son's grandma.
So she called, said she was having some problems with it and asked if we would come look at it.
which is not unusual. We do house calls depending on the person and where it's located. But this is my son's grandma, so of course we're gonna make the exception. She called and said she was having problems with the car. Asked if we would come look at it. Went, assessed the car at her house the first time. I think we made a minor repair there. Not to the extent that it was the problem that she was having after the fact.
Okay. So, where Red Jaguar located when you guys go out to see it?
Mr. My son's grandma's driveway in Ypsilanti, off Michigan Avenue, I believe.
All right. And who goes with you out there that first time?
Jarvis.
Okay. It's just you and Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys go out there and you assess, make a minor repair.
Yeah.
Does it completely fix the car? For
that problem, yes.
Okay. And then is there another time that you end up having to do work on this Red Jaguar?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that.
She drove the Jaguar for a while. It was doing fine. And then she said it was leaking something. I asked her what it was leaking. She said she didn't know. I asked her if she could get it towed to the shop. She said, yeah.
So that your shop at 9000 Connor?
Yes.
Okay. And who works on it at 9000 Connor?
Me and Jarvis.
Okay. And what do you do when you finish fixing? Do you ever fixing the Red Jaguar?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you do when you finish fixing it?
We take it back to her. I called her first and asked her how she was planning on retrieving the vehicle. She said she was going to tow it, and I didn't want to cost her no more money, so I told her that we could bring it.
Okay. And do you recall if that was on or about January 9th of 2024?
It was on.
It was on that day?
Yes.
Okay. So on that day, before you take tell me about how that day started for you.
I woke up. I typically leave the house at 6 because that's what time I could leave. So I went to the gym. I got to the shop probably around 8:30. I don't know who opened the shop. I can't really recall which one of us opened it, but Jarvis may have been there already. A few cars came in. Then the Jaguar probably got there maybe around 9 o'clock. I assessed the Jaguar. Jarvis left for a moment. I had another mechanic, being it's a foreign car, so I had a foreign car mechanic on call to help with the work, but he was busy, so he came, said he wouldn't have time to do it, so I think I Googled it, seen how it was done, and I proceeded taking the water pump off.
Okay. About that work that day?
Yes, he was there.
Okay. What do you guys being you and Mr. Butts, do as it relates to work on the night?
I think we had a few cars that came in that needed some minor repairs. Between that and the Jaguar, we was jumping in and out of the Jaguar job, and the cars that pulled up, maybe oil change, tune up, whatever, et cetera, so forth was. But we was mainly working on the Jaguar, trying to get the water pump off as it is. Our job to do.
Okay. And do you always have all of your parts on stock or on your person in stock with you?
No, we call either AutoZone, Mansfield, or the auto stores to have them.
Okay. And did you have to go get any auto parts on January 9th?
Yes, we had to go get the water pump for the Jaguar, as well as some other parts, I believe, for other cars.
Okay. And when you go and get parts, is it usually just one of you, both of you, or something else?
That depends. If it's a car there, then one of us will stay. If it's not a car, we can go together sometimes.
Okay. And on January 9th of 2024, did you guys, did one of you guys go to the auto parts store, or did you both go?
We both went.
Both went? Okay. Tell me what happens when you go to the auto parts store.
Before that, I called them. They ordered the water pump, so we went and picked it up when they called and said it was in. We got in the truck, went to AutoZone, got the water pump. On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something. So we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back. And on our way back, we was coming down Harper. Jarvis said, "I see my niece right there. She walking." We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time. She got in the truck with us. She spoke. Hi, King. Hi, Jay. And we proceeded back to the shop.
Okay. So when you guys are driving to these auto parts stores, who's driving?
Jarvis,
Okay, and where?
passenger seat.
Okay. And you said when you guys are heading back to the shop the second time, that's when you said Jarvis spots someone?
Yes.
Who does he say that he spots?
His niece.
His niece, okay. And you recognize his niece?
Yes, when I see her, when he pointed her out to me, yes, I recognize her walking across the street.
Okay. And so you guys pull over. Where's she getting to the car at?
I believe she's getting behind me. So the back seat behind me.
Okay. Does Jarvis say anything to her?
Yeah, she speaks to both of us and we speak back.
Okay. What does he say to her?
Hi.
Hi. And where do you guys go after you pick up his niece?
Back to the shop.
Okay, and that's at 9,000 Connors?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you guys do when you get back to 9,000 Connors?
He back in. We get out. We proceed to working on the Jaguar. I may have got out the car first with the parts, and he was in the car with her for a second. I got out, started working on the Jaguar.
And does what happens next? What do you guys do?
I believe she get out, get into the front seat, reposition herself to the front seat of his truck. It was colder that day. I believe she started the truck. We started working on the Jaguar, putting the parts back on. It took a little minute. And it's like I said, it was a difficult job, so it took a while. At some point, I believe his truck ran out of gas, so we had to stop.
Man, my bad, guys. My mic was muted. But he said that they stopped. Like, he pointed out, he's like, wow, there goes my niece. So they stopped, pick up the niece or whatever. But didn't nobody want to know, like, what was she doing walking? Like, she just gets in the car and she speaks and y'all don't say nothing else? Like, what are you doing out here? They know where you at. They know you out here walking. I'm taking you home. I mean, none of that. Oh, Lord.
What we were doing, push his truck to the gas pump so he could get some gas.
So you said that she gets out of the car that you guys were in?
Yes. No, we was always in Jarvis' truck.
Okay.
So she gets out of the back seat and repositions herself to the front seat so she can start the cover.
And tell me, what kind of car, what kind of truck does Jarvis drive?
Escalade.
And what color?
It's pearl white.
Okay. What, if you can see, what is his niece doing while you guys are working on the shop, at the shop?
I believe she's on her cell phone, I believe.
Jarvis didn't say anything to take her home or nothing?
Does Jarvis ever take his niece anywhere that, like, while you guys are working at the shop?
No.
No, okay. Did you ask him if he was gonna take her home at all?
I believe I asked him, was he gonna drop her off when the truck ran out of gas? We had to push it to the pump. It was just a distraction from work, so I asked, was he gonna drop her off? No.
And do you finish working? Did you finish working on the Jaguar that day?
Yes.
And what happens after you finish up on the Jaguar?
I called my son grandma and asked her how she was going to retrieve the vehicle. She said she was going to tow it. I told her.
Wait a minute, how's she gonna skip over that? How's she not gonna ask him? Okay, you asked him. Was you going? What did he say? She just skipped over like she. I don't know what he said. I want to know what he said when he asked him that. When he asked him that, what was his response? I'm curious to know what he said.
She didn't have to do that. That was just spending extra money. So I asked Jarvis, was it all right if we dropped it off? He said yes. And we started making preparations to do so.
Do you recall? You guys finished the Jaguar and prepared to leave?
Probably around 7:30 or somewhere around there.
When do you guys eventually leave the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about who all leaves the shop?
Me, Jarvis, and his niece.
Okay. And tell me about the driving arrangements.
Drove my 300 and Jarvis drove the Jaguar.
And where was his niece at?
She was with him in the front seat of the Jaguar.
Now, are you able to recall what his niece looked like that day?
Yes. Faintly, but yes.
Do you remember what kind of clothing she was wearing?
Yeah, I remember she had a jacket on. Like I said, a coat. It was cold, so I think it was colorful.
Colorful?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else she have on?
May I approach? Yes. Mr. Wright, I'm approaching the People's Proposed Exhibit 2. And I'm going to direct you to the top left corner. Can you tell me, is there anything that you recognize in that?
The jacket in Channel 1.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you've seen his niece, Jarvis's niece, wearing that day?
Yes.
And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 2.
Any objection? Objection. To be admitted as People's Exhibit 2.
Thank you. And I'm going to show you your man approach. And then showing you its Market Appeals Proposed Exhibit 3. Do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes.
Thanks. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of Jarvis's niece as you remember? 2024.
Yes.
Okay. And is that the same niece that went with you to Ypsilanti?
Yes, it did.
Okay. And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 3.
No objection. Okay. To be admitted as People's Exhibit 3.
Thank you.
You really thought that was his niece all this time.
So you guys are driving to Ypsilanti. You said you're driving in your 300 and Jarvis is driving the Jaguar with his niece.
Yes.
Okay. About how long does it take you guys to get to Ypsilanti?
It was raining that day, so about.
And when you get to Ypsilanti, what do?
We get out, we park the car, get out, We go in. My son's grandma and I believe his auntie was there as well, so they greeted us. They they'd spoken to him before, so they greet him. And then my son, grandma asked who the little girl was.
And did you introduce the little girl?
No.
Okay. Who introduced the little girl?
Jarvis did.
And what did Jarvis introduce her as?
His niece.
And about how long do you guys stay in Delaney?
Not long, maybe 15 minutes or so. My son, auntie had to go get the rest of our money that my grandma didn't have, so she went to the ATM.
What do you guys do when she went to the ATM?
Talking.
Okay.
Talking. She was just telling us about other work she needed to get around her house, etc., so on and so forth.
Okay. And was Mr. Butts with you the whole time?
Yes.
So you guys eventually leave Ypsilanti.
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about the driving arrangements coming or leaving Ypsilanti.
Which is mine. We get in. Travis in the front. I believe Messiah sat behind me.
Step behind you?
Yes.
Okay. So, and is there any kind of talking or conversation when you guys are driving?
No, I got sounds in my car, so no.
And do you recall about what time you guys, I guess, where do you guys go when you leave Ypsilanti?
Back to 9,000 Connors.
Do you recall about what time you guys get back to 9,000 Connors?
Probably around 8:45. I was cutting it close on the tether.
What do you do when you get back to 9,000 Connors?
Okay, so what do you mean by he was cutting it close? Because he had to be in his home by 9 o'clock. He was on house arrest, so he was only like out to to work and stuff like that, of course. But he had to be in the house by 9 o'clock. So that's the reason why he said he was cutting it close, because he didn't leave the shop until 8:45. So when he left the shop, that right there lets you know that's the last time that he saw Naziah with Jarvis, and it was just Jarvis and Naziah. Now remember, Jarvis said he hadn't seen Naziah since 2 weeks prior to her when she came up missing at her grandmother's house getting her hair done. So he's lying.
Opened up the shop door where he left. He left his truck in one of the bays, so we opened up that bay door, went through the gas station, because that's the way we entered the shop. Went through the gas station, opened the shop, opened one of the bay doors. I went to the back and started splitting the money that we had made for the day, and separating the receipts.
So,
Get in this truck.
do you recall where at his truck she got into?
Passenger seat.
Is that front passenger, back passenger, or something else?
Front passenger.
And where's your butt at?
Back in the back with me, separating the cash.
And when you leave the shop,
No, I left first.
you left first. Okay. So when you leave, who's still at the shop?
Jarvis and me.
Do you see them leave the shop at all?
No.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why it keeps buffering. It was doing that when I was watching it earlier today too.
And have you seen Jarvis's niece, the one that was with you on the 9th? Have you seen her since January 9th, 2024?
No.
Now let's talk about the day after that you guys went to Etsy, so January 10th. Do you recall if Mr. Bucks was at work that day?
I don't think he was.
What makes you think that he wasn't?
3 times, 4 times. No reason for him to call me if he was standing right next to me.
No response. So they don't think he's speculating, so not put in police.
If he's saying that there's no, maybe he can call for a certain reason, just to know it's speculation.
Can you ask the question? Re-ask the question.
Yes. So you said that you don't believe he was at work because he would call you, or he called you so often?
He called me. We had a 30-minute conversation on one account, and then we had another conversation about 15 minutes. So,
Okay. So that makes you believe in your mind that he was actually on the ceiling?
What's the question first?
It's just asking, based on those conversations, that Mr. Buck was not at the shop with him. I don't think that's leading. It's stating a conclusion.
He said he already stated that he wasn't just a shot. We didn't believe him. So I'll overrule.
You can.
one more time.
So based on the length of those phone calls and the times of them, did that make you believe that Mr. Buck was not the shop?
Right.
Did Jarvis Butts ever mention to you about his niece being missing?
No.
Have you talked to Mr. Butts aside from all that we played since turning himself in?
No.
And
Now his niece is missing the next day, and he comes in there and he don't say anything to King about his niece is missing. Man, I know if I went to work and my niece or nephew was missing, cousin, uncle, aunt, whatever, I don't even know if I would have went to work anyway. I probably would have called, look, guys, I ain't gonna be able to make it. My niece is missing. Man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it in there. But he didn't say nothing. He just act like it was a normal day.
And do you know someone, do you know any of Jarvis's siblings?
Yes.
And which sibling do you
I met his brother and I met his sister.
you talked to his sister? Well, start back.
I want to show y'all that video too. She testified.
Would his sister ever come to the shop?
Sporadically.
Okay. And are there times that you talk to her?
Yes.
Okay. And had you talked to her about Jarvis's niece being missing?
After the police questioned me, I believe she came up there and we.
And Mr. Wright, I'd asked you earlier about if you'd seen Mr. Butts in the courtroom. So that you couldn't see him there. Okay.
Because he hiding behind his lawyers over there. The mask, y'all want to know why he got that mask on his face? He's getting beat up in jail. They say his face is messed up, so they got him covering it with a mask.
And I'm showing you People's Proposed Exhibit 9. Can you tell me if you recognize that photo?
Yes.
And who is it in that photo?
Jarvis.
Okay. That's Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
Okay. Now move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 9.
Okay, exhibit as People's Exhibit 9.
Thank you.
Hi, Miss Italy D. Hi, Lisa.
And Mr. Wright, I kind of want to direct your attention back to People's Proposed Exhibit 3. People's Exhibit 3, I'm sorry. Can you see it from here where I'm holding it?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know who this person in this photo is?
Yes.
Okay. And who do you know her as now?
Nazaya.
The next time you see Jarvis Butts after January 9th, 2024, do you see any injuries on him?
No, I don't believe I've seen it. So.
Nothing further, Judge. Okay, Ross. Thank you.
There you go, hiding. See that mask on his face? It's because he getting whooped.
Good morning.
Busted his face up. He has some teeth missing.
You said that, I believe, in your testimony that you have known Butts since about 2018, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And you said you met at Frank's, the shop that you looked at.
That's correct.
This is his lawyer.
And you said you guys worked together at Frank's for about 2 years.
That's correct.
And so that means in about 2020, you opened up the shop for Connor?
No, in 2021, I went to.
It is pouring down in really bad windy.
I came back.
So I'm assuming that's why I'm getting this.
Yes.
And what year was that?
That was 2020.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. And so then how long after you came back were you, the two of you at Frank's together?
Maybe a few months to maybe like the middle of the year. So maybe around either around April. It was still a little cold outside.
Okay. So like early spring.
Yeah.
They haven't set a date yet for trial. I can't wait.
You think that you opened up the shop at 9?
Yes, it could have been earlier than that, but yes, around.
I'm really thinking about going to Detroit during that time frame and sit in the courtroom a few days.
Business partners?
Yes.
Did you give them business partners?
Yes.
Okay. You also consider Mr. Butts a friend at that point?
Yes.
As far as the business arrangement, you said it was a 50 lit. Did you split it every day at the end of the day? Or?
Every day at the end of the day.
It is pouring down, guys.
Now back around the beginning of 2024, end of 2023, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Yes. A friend of a woman named Shannon Harris?
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever?
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
Probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
So before you went?
Before I went to prison.
Okay. Did you and Mr. Butts ever have a falling out about that?
No.
Now you and Mr. Butts, did you talk about your personal lives?
Sometimes, yes.
You spent good days at work together, right?
Right.
So presumably it came up.
Of course.
Talk about girlfriends.
Of course.
Did women often come to the shop looking for Mr. Butts?
Like,
Did he talk to you about the very women that he would be seeing or juggling maybe?
that happened.
Okay. Did it sometimes cause drama in the shop?
It happened.
When we come up and confront Mr. Butts?
It happens.
Maybe about other women that he was seeing?
It happens.
Did you ever feel like that was affecting the business?
No, thanks.
What about at the business that you own with the counter?
It didn't happen as much there.
Didn't happen as much in counter?
Right.
Okay. Sometime, I guess, the two of you were working together, you had a friend that was, I guess, talking to or trying to date one of Mr. Butt's daughters. Is that correct?
That happened.
The daughter was 21, 22.
She was somewhere around, not 100% certain, but yeah, around that age, 20, 21, 22.
And that caused an issue for Mr. Butts.
It did.
He got pretty upset with his friend.
It did. I was in prison at the time, so yes, I was involved directly.
Okay. Did you ever hear about an altercation that happened between the two of them?
Some kind of altercation did occur, yes.
Was your impression that Mr. Butts was pretty protective of her?
Yeah.
Do you know how many children Mr. Butts has?
13?
And you said that some of them would come to the shop.
Yes, that happened.
But at the shop on Connor, you said his sons would come.
His son will come sometimes and stay today with us.
His daughter.
She'll come sometimes and stay today with us.
And what's her name? Do you recall?
No, I don't want to misname it.
Okay.
I think it's someone with a J or something like that, though. I'm not sure.
Was she like a teenager?
Yeah. She come up there sometime, but not really. Little was one that time.
That
7, 8, 9, somewhere around there.
And then his niece would also come.
Yes.
Would she come typically with?
The one that starts with a J is his daughter by Shannon.
When I first met her, yes, that's how I with his daughter. She would always come with his daughter. They would come up there sometimes to get air in their tires. It might be money, just typical kid stuff.
Did he ever, or did the two of you ever have them like doing chores around the shop?
Sometimes.
Did Mr. Butts talk to you about his children?
Yes.
Did you talk about spending time with them?
Yes, I believe he lived with the majority of them.
And you said that you mentioned Tasha. She's one of the mothers of some of his children,
Yes.
correct?
No, I don't believe so.
Now, you said, I believe in your testimony, that you have been to Ypsilanti twice with Mr. Butts. Is that?
Or 3 times, one of the. Yes.
Possibly could have been 3.
It could have possibly been 3. I'm not 100% certain.
Okay. Now, one of the his niece was, you said, on January the 9th.
First time I seen her by herself, yes.
And that's because you have a picture up on Harper.
Yes.
Did Mr. Butts seem surprised that he saw her?
I'm not sure. I couldn't really, I wasn't really paying attention to his expression. He just pointed to me.
And at that time, you only knew her as his niece.
Yes.
You didn't have any idea what her name was at that time.
No.
And in fact, the reason you learned her name was when you identified that picture that was just shown to you, and the police told you what her name was. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
With Mr. Butts and his niece, did you see any inappropriate behavior or anything that made you raise your eyebrows between the two of them?
No.
What about any of the other times that his niece would have been there in the shop? Did you ever?
Well, he ain't gonna do nothing in front of me.
Behavior that made you question about was
I
inappropriate?
said I have.
Now, the 3 of you rode back from Ypsilanti on January 9th. That was your testimony, right?
Yes.
Was there any conversation between Mr. Butts and his niece in the car?
There was no conversation between really nobody. I had the music on.
And I'm going to back up to earlier in the day when the 3 of you came to the shop the first time after you picked her up from on Harper.
Okay.
You said that she pretty much stayed in Mr. Butt's car the whole time.
Yes.
She said she was on her phone.
Yes.
Did you ever leave the shop at all after that before you guys went to the landing?
Maybe in the
Not just the attached gas station.
yeah, maybe to the gas station. I'm not sure if I actually physically left the building. I'm not sure.
Would have been for more than like 5 or 10 minutes.
Use the bathroom, so maybe 10 minutes tops if I had to leave.
You never went to grab parts at any place that you can recall.
Not that I can recall.
Now, after January 9th, what was the next time you said that you saw Mr. Butts? Okay, he was not at work on the 10th?
No.
Okay. Do you recall?
I'm never on time.
What time did you come in on the 10th?
Probably about 8:40. I go to the gym, so we open at 8, but I'm never there at 8, so I probably got there maybe 8:49.
Are you the one that opened the shop?
Yes.
Now, you were aware at that time that Mr. Butts was supposed to turn himself in and serve a jail sentence of William County Jail. That's correct?
Yes, I am.
You just leave the business for a while.
Correct.
And you actually went to the courthouse on the day he turned himself in to support him.
Yes, I was there.
And he was going to be serving time,
That's correct.
if you know.
That's correct.
And because you were kind of paying attention to what was happening, you understood that the court date had gotten changed a few times.
Yeah, he told me that it had changed. So I believe he's supposed to get sentenced on the 9th, but I learned that through him. I didn't go to court with him that time, but just when he got sentenced, I went to court with him that time.
Are you familiar with any court dates that he had out in Clinton Township around that time?
He did say he had something going on with his daughter, I believe. I believe it was domestic with his daughter of some sort. So yeah, I was familiar with that, I believe.
Was he going to court for that? Now you got involved because at some point you became aware that the Detroit police wanted to talk to you. Okay, that actually took you down.
To headquarters.
Okay, and that was the first time on February 13th, is that right?
That was February.
With again, a couple days later.
Yes, I would believe the first time I spoke with him, I was still on tether, so it had to be some time after I was up. Yeah.
And then you spoke with him again in March, right?
Yes. No, all of our conversations was via person.
And then a couple weeks ago, did you also?
Yes.
And the prosecutors?
I don't know if a prosecutor, but yes, I believe she was there.
What's up, Trace?
Yes.
Now, in February, when you were talking to the police, by that time, had you seen anything on the news or on social media about who you later learned was Mr. Butts? Or interview about the police you didn't know anything about?
Tell us your business. Done a psychopath. Where was he?
And at the time that you were talking to the police, while you were on tether, and
Oh, guys, I am so sorry. We're having like some real bad weather.
Yes,
Looks like the rain is going to come through the house any minute.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but you had about
Anyway,
3 weeks left on parole at that point.
Not 3 weeks in February.
Yes.
I had 3 weeks left on tether. I got off actual parole in May.
Okay. So the tether was coming off, but you were still going to have to report.
3 more at once.
Okay. And in February, I believe it was the second conversation that you had with a detective, presumably, you and the officer or the detective spoke about the tether, right? Do you recall that?
believe so, yes.
Because you're concerned every time you would go somewhere, you would be late, you were very.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Right.
And in fact, he actually said, hey, we'll take care of you if anything pops up, right?
He said, I'll talk to your PO, so you're fine.
Okay. And he also kind of warned you that you didn't want to get somebody upset about the way you were answering these questions and have somebody feel some kind of way about you. Do you recall him saying that to you?
This case is so big already. And
This is the first conversation of the second you asked
The
about.
second, right at the top of the
I
number.
guarantee you they'll try to have a trial somewhere
I
else.
mean, I can't really recall every word. I know we was agitated. I was a little agitated. It was a lot going on, so like
It's possible that conversation.
it's possible.
Did you understand any of his statements while you're talking to him to me that the police wanted you to give answers, and if you didn't answer, that they could mess with your parole or your tentative?
False speculation,
It goes to his state of mind.
but he doesn't know what that is.
It's what he believes might happen, and we didn't have to what he said. Was it your understanding that if you didn't give certain answers, that the police might?
What?
Other status? Was that a concern of yours?
Really, you know what I mean? Concerned about how he placed his questions upon me, no. So I mean, more of the concern was my being picked up by the police. Police contact is a violation of parole within itself. So I was violated for the police contact, regardless to whatever he was saying. You get what I mean? So it impacted anything at all, actually.
But your parole wasn't actually revoked. Right?
No.
Now we talked a little bit about this a few minutes ago. Mr. Butts was struggling a few different ways during the time you knew him.
Yes.
And it's hard to keep up with all his baby mamas
I mean, it wasn't my job, so yeah.
and babies that weren't mamas.
Right.
Did you get the impression from Mr. Butts that he didn't want these women to know about each other?
Of course.
My name Tasha was one of Mr. Butts' ladies,
Yes.
and that was one of his baby moms.
Yes. To my belief, yes.
So there was some discussion about a phone call. But well, he was at the jail about his phone, right? And after that conversation, Tasha actually came into the shop to get some work done on the car.
Yes, he came to get a oil change in the headlight.
And that's when you went and kind of looked at the phone.
Yes.
Now, you didn't really want Tasha to know that you were looking at the phone, right?
Of course.
And the reason for that was,
She's gonna wonder why I'm looking for a phone.
and was it your impression that Mr. Butts was afraid it would reveal that talking to other women?
Of course.
And so you're trying to help him keep peace?
Of course.
No, he ain't gonna say that. You know that guys are. Now, if it was us females, we would have busted it out in a minute.
I think the testimony was on the 9th, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was an issue during the day, Mr. Hedges was there, is that correct?
Yes.
And he had run out of gas,
Yes.
and he had to get it. You pushed him to the, or helped push the Escalade to a gas pump.
Yes.
Do you recall leaving with him that night and going and getting gas together?
For his truck, or what we saying? Or for like a gas can?
Well, either one. Did you all leave the shop, and perhaps you in your vehicle and he in his vehicle and at a gas station
No.
on the night?
No.
You know, later reflection of
No,
that?
he was on house arrest. He had to be at home at 9 o'clock. That's why he left the shop, because he was cutting it close at 8:45.
That's all I have. Thank you. Can you redirect? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, I want to show you this video of I want to show you this video where so remember when I said that the 9-year-old girl that testified in court against him was Westacom's daughter, was Marquita's daughter, which is Marquita is Shannon's twin sister. Shannon is the one that had the 5 kids by Jarvis. And Marquita had 2 kids, but they wasn't by Jarvis. But her daughter, she's 9 years old right now. Jarvis, she testified against him in court. Now, of course, they're not going to show her testimony because she's a minor. But even after this, Marquita still thinks, along with Shannon, that he's innocent. So I want you to see the video that her dad put out.
It wasn't a pretty thing. She was on the defense. Like she's the one that needs protection when in.
I hope it goes all the way through for you guys, because it's starting to tick me off.
In fact, it was not Naziah Harris and all of those other children in that home who needed protection.
All right, let me just get straight to him.
And I can, when I post over there, I can see, like, if he sends a message or anything, I can see all that. But yeah, he did follow me, so I did follow him back on the Insta. COVID to the screen.
The stuff he says, he's gonna tell you some stuff that went on in their house too.
What up, man? And hey, I don't know what's going on, man. They blocked my other page. You know what I mean? Because motherfuckers want to run their mouth. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. You hear me? You hear me? Like, I'm just tired of motherfuckers just think they can just say anything and everything and really don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, yeah, that girl was failed by her grandma and auntie. But was she fast? I'm not gonna say that.
Right.
She wasn't out here texting and fucking any boy and every boy. She was groomed to what the fuck she was into. So it's like motherfuckers don't know the situation or what's going on outside that household. My daughter was involved with that shit. I didn't know nothing about it until my daughter came out. You hear me? So it's like motherfuckers just be on Facebook talking, running their mouth. Don't know what the fuck they talking about. End of the day, that nigga did it. Now, did the auntie know about it? Yes, she knew about it. Did the grandma know about it? Yes, she knew about it because the nigga been fucking with that little girl since she was 10 years old, 11 years old. Now, yeah. Her auntie did it. The grandma covering it up. No, the fuck, the auntie didn't do it, man. She know about it. And anybody in that household that knew that nigga was a pedophile knew about it. Like, the shit deep, nigga. The shit deep. The shit is, like, really, like, overwhelming to the point where, like, everybody that's involved, nigga, shouldn't be alive. And I'm going to keep saying it, nigga. And ain't nobody going to change my thoughts on anything. I don't give a fuck, baby mama, none of that. Homie, none of that. And I want everybody to tap in and hear this shit, bro. Like, you can't call this little girl fast because she said she want to have a threesome with a nigga that she been groomed by. You can't call this little girl fast if she telling the same nigga that she sneaking out with that she living at her grandma locked the doors. This is how I know. They got something to do with it.
Where that ugly lady at?
Who?
Oh.
She been gone.
Man, I feel like Tay just took my charger, bro. And I'm out there no cussing her out, bro.
That's where she been gone. Your mama came in and left. But everybody just has got something to say. My daughter ain't gotta tell me the grandma and Jane involved. It's the way that it's how the shit coming out their mouth. The lies. What's up, stranger? It's the lies. First of all, you said that the nigga ain't been in your house. Second of all, you said that the nigga and the daughter said the nigga 50-50, he come and he don't, and he sit in the driveway. That's a lie. I done seen him in the house multiple times before I even knew who the fuck the nigga was. This is what I'm saying. Everybody, he told Shannon. Shannon knew. So everybody around that whole situation knew the nigga was a pedophile. Real shit. And everybody keeps saying this girl was fast, or this girl was a little hoe, or this girl was this and that, this and this. That means you saying my daughter was a fast little hoe. Or you saying his daughter was a fast little hoe that he raped and gave a disease too. Catch up, monster. If y'all been watching this shit since it been going on, y'all need to catch up, because at the end of the day, some of y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Real shit. And my daughter brave as fuck to get on the stand and tell what that motherfucking retarded ass, wicked ass, hoe ass nigga did, to her cousin.
Yes, she is.
You would never tell me nothing wrong, bro. Do it hurt? Fuck yeah, it hurt. Oh, you didn't know about that. See, you need to catch up, monster. I mean, it's the principle about life, bro. Like, y'all need to understand, bro. I mean, you got these sick ass monster. Yeah, man. You know, my daughter is Naziah's cousin. I mean, the nigga tried to rape my daughter, and nigga, he raped her. He seen what happened. Nigga at the shop and shit. You feel me? She had to testify the other day or whatever. Long story short. But you gotta understand, bro. The nigga, man, y'all, man, listen.
They had to put him out of the court.
That's what I'm saying. That ain't came out, did it? You didn't even hear about that, huh? But yeah, what up, man? Yeah, man. Nigga, the shit deep, nigga. The shit deep. And everybody talking about this little girl fast, this little girl hoe. She talking about threesome and all this and that. Nigga, she was groomed by a 40-year-old man. Mm-hmm. She was groomed by a 40-year-old man. He raped his daughter and gave her a comedian, nigga. Or gonorrhea, one of them.
Romania.
Man, listen, bro. The nigga in jail, bro. Like, nigga, I swear to God, nigga, they kicked me out the courtroom the other day. No, he didn't get my daughter nigga, he didn't get my daughter shit, bro. The nigga just tried to rape my daughter and fucked and raped her cousin in front of her. Man, them nigga, they got that nigga wrapped up in PC. That nigga ain't about to, man. That nigga gonna die when he go to motherfucking prison, though.
They already messing him up in jail.
But my thing is, Miss Marshall, everybody talking about her being fast, or her being a little hoe, or her this and that. You can't put that off on her. She's 10, 11 years old, innocent. Her auntie and them allowed this nigga to come and take her innocence. They allow him to come and do this thing, bro. Come on, man. They know that nigga, this little girl was sneaking out. He was sneaking out with him. Man, come on, man. My daughter the older kid that literally niggas stepped out and testified. And everybody got something to say about her. Like this nigga, like this nigga, like him being 40, like he ain't contributed that, being the way she is. When you ain't never heard about her, you ain't never heard about this girl on Instagram fucking no other niggas. You ain't never heard about her on Facebook out here fucking these young niggas. You ain't never heard her out here running around fucking no other type of niggas. You only heard about her fucking this nigga, talking about what she want to do to this nigga, talking about what they want to have, what she want to have with this nigga, and nothing else. They need to wake up at the end of the day. When it all boiled down, he was allowed in that household. He was in that household. They let him in that household. They let him wander around that household. The grandma always upstairs in her room. So basically, the kids and the auntie and them had the household. I mean, real shit. Like, this nigga in her house at 2:30 in the morning in the basement. Come on, man. Come on, man. What she know about taking a shower before she has sex with a grown-ass man or with a man, period? She 11 years old. Y'all steady talking about how she fast and this and that, bro. Come on now. Ain't no little girl in the world, bro, fast at all when they innocent is taken, bro, by a grown-ass 40-year-old man, bro.
Amen.
You feel me? Nigga, like I said, my daughter was around that. My daughter was around that. My daughter used to live with them. My daughter witnessed shit my daughter witnessed shit in that motherfucking shop, bro. My daughter witnessed shit in that shop. It wasn't like she ain't witnessed nothing. It wasn't like she just peeked or didn't see nothing, nigga. She spoke up, nigga. She spoke up, bro. And it's like, I just hate that the fact, bro, motherfuckers always got something to say, bro, about something they don't know nothing about. They don't know nothing about, bro. Like y'all understand, like shit. That's like somebody they know or somebody y'all know getting raped or their innocence getting taken away. Who said they wasn't? I said that. Who said they wasn't? Who said they wasn't? I said that. It ain't aunties. I mean, it's aunties. I mean, but who said they wasn't? I never said my baby mom was innocent. My daughter was, but I never said my baby mom was innocent at all. But I know for a fact she wasn't innocent. I mean, she wasn't fast as fuck. I know for a fact that. Innocent, I mean, shit, at the end of the day, shit, everybody that knew that he was a pedophile is guilty. If you want to be honest. Just like. No, Shannon, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. My baby mama didn't know. Shannon knew. You didn't see Marquita on the news? But at the end of the day, the reality is motherfuckers speaking on this situation don't know shit about it. How can a young little girl How could a young little girl be fast when she wasn't fast? Yeah, the whole story is bullshit. You feel me? Like, the auntie knew that the nigga was a pedophile 2012 when they first started talking. She got 5 kids by that nigga. You feel me? She had to tell her sister. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, my daughter's a victim. You feel me? I'm not taking up my baby mama because my baby mama lived with them. My daughter was a victim. You feel me? Her cousin was a victim. Her other cousin was a victim. And so on and so on. So we don't know how many victims was little kids that was in the household. What I'm saying is, motherfuckers talking about this little girl was fast, this little girl a hoe because she said she wanna have a threesome when she was groomed into all that shit. She was manipulated by a grown-ass man that's 40 years old to all this shit. It ain't no this and that and that. No. This little girl wasn't out here, nigga, on Instagram texting and fucking any other nigga or any other young little boy. She wasn't out here sneaking out with any other young little boy or any other grown-ass man. She was sneaking out with this nigga, man. 2, 3 in the morning, he's sneaking in the house with her in the basement. But y'all don't hear this. But y'all don't hear this. Exactly. And that's what I've been saying. Like, at the end of the day, you know you're a pedophile. You should have never had him around your family anyway, your nieces anyway. You feel me? My daughter came on one day, and this the crazy part. My daughter came and told her that she went home. This is when my daughter was, I mean, like I said.
Told you Trace is rough.
My daughter left with them, came back and told her other cousin and them that she had a secret, but she didn't tell them. So when the shit was hitting the fan, my daughter came out and said everything that, went on. But if she was, like I said, then the auntie know about him being a pedophile, that mean the mama knew. That mean the grandma knew. You feel me? Y'all allow this grown-ass man to groom this girl to something she shouldn't be. She should be busy. She should be pregnant.
Amen.
It's wild as fuck. Real shit.
Here.
Like, I just hate that motherfuckers speak bad on her more than they speak bad on this nigga, bro. Because at the end of the day, that's like any grown-ass nigga that got a mind frame to fuck with a little-ass girl need to be killed. I'm not the judge, and I'm not the prosecutor, so I can't tell you why they not locked up. But they need to be. They need anybody that knew he was a motherfucking pedophile and let him around their kid. But at the end of the day, shit, I don't think that's a crime. You feel me? I don't know that. See, that's the thing. I don't live with them, so I can't speak upon that. But I know they weren't looking for that little girl.
No,
they didn't look for that little girl till everybody else started looking for that little girl. They didn't look for that little girl till Roxy started looking for that little girl.
That's what I was about to say.
So, I can't speak upon that.
And Roxy is a distant,
but what I can speak upon,
family member,
is her innocence of not being a little hood rat little hoe. They lied on it. They lied in trial. They lied on the stand. The grandma said the nigga never been in her house. The nigga never been in her house. The nigga don't never come in her house. You feel me? But
okay, I gotta stop it right there. So that's why I said, like, I felt like they didn't ask enough questions, because grandma says that he ain't never been in the house. Then why the text messages show that he was in the basement? I want to know, or why didn't they ask, well, what basement was this supposed to be? Grandma said you never been in the house. What basement? Like, they didn't get together on their stuff, unless they didn't know about those text messages, and they probably didn't learn about them until they came out during trial or during the hearing. So I don't know. Regardless, they knew.
The nigga be in her house. The nigga be in her house, and she know the nigga be in her house. No, they didn't report it until January 9th. I mean, January 10th, the day after. They didn't start looking for her for a couple, 2 or 3 months after, when Mark and them was when Mark and them was on motherfucking when Mark and them started looking. But then Auntie said the nigga do 50-50. Nigga sit in the driveway, and then the nigga knock on the door. But the text message say that the nigga be in her house all night, all day, all night, basically. That nigga ain't just going over there. That nigga ain't just going over from the side, bro. That nigga was going over with Shannon, doing that to that girl. And they knew about it. That nigga had all them motherfucking mind corrupt. That nigga, man, manipulated, whatever that fuck you want to say, corrupt all they mind. From the grandma to the auntie to the baby, man. And I fought them, auntie, if you don't think something wrong, this nigga raped his own motherfucking kid. Or raped his own motherfucking kid, mama, whatever the motherfucking situation is. Yeah, the mother is a big suspect. I mean, the grandma is a big suspect of this, man. They was in cool. Come on, man. This nigga took her to the abortion clinic.
Okay. So
when the media said she.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me tell you what I think, how that goes. Now, that makes me believe when he said that makes me believe this baby's been pregnant already once before. Because he's not talking about right now. So obviously he's talking about a prior time or during this time earlier in her pregnancy. But regardless, it proves that he was messing with her and he knew that she was pregnant, because he claimed, he didn't know she was pregnant and he hadn't seen her and blah, 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 blah. And the messages must have been with the kids. He didn't know, just a bunch of bull.
She was talking to the dad. She said the little girl asked my grandma why she lied. Come on, man. This story keep changing up. The grandma and the aunties. They ain't protecting each other. They trying to she protected. Don't get me wrong. She trying to protect her daughter because she know her daughter was in the middle of it. I'm never gonna change that, bro. I'm never gonna stop that, bro. She know her daughter was involved with this by her knowing that the nigga was a pedophile. And that's my story, bro. I mean, I didn't want to do it, and I hate to get on here, bro, but I'm tired of seeing what the fuck this little girl's wrong of and what the fuck he did was fucked up, but it's all on her because she was fast. I don't see that.
I don't either.
I don't see that. See, they blocked my other page because motherfucker reported me.
He's funny.
But motherfuckers didn't understand, bro. This shit is a serious situation. And I'm gonna say this again, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a nigga around your kid, make sure he know your kid. Or, my bad. If you got a nigga around hey, Bree. If you got a nigga around your kid, make sure you know that nigga. I don't give a fuck, bro. If the nigga a pedophile or nigga got something on his record that's fucked up, you need to know about. Y'all need to investigate these niggas like y'all need to investigate these niggas and be on y'all kids like y'all be in these streets and in the clubs, my baby. Real shit. Real shit. Bree, how you been? Everybody got something to say. But then nobody get out there and look for the little girl. Everybody got something to say.
Y'all asking why would they lie for him? the whole family was jacked. Like I said, this family was full of generational curses. And it started with the grandma, Annette. She was violated by her biological brother. And like I said, to cover that up, they put her in a crack house at 11 years old. And that was their reasons. That was the way to say that how she got pregnant was, she had ran away from home and she was in that crack house. And then you got to think about Naziah's mom. Every one of Annette's kids ran away between the age of 16 and 17. And she had like 5 or 7 kids of her own. And they ran away between the age 16 or 17, all with the exception, again, of Naziah's mom. She ran away at the age of 13. But she's been dealing with drug addiction on and off ever since. And it's just like Shannon, the grandma's daughter, she was messing with Jarvis at the age of 16. And before Shannon was messing with him, Marquita was messing with him. Grandma ain't watching no kids. She wasn't watching her own kids. She wasn't watching Naziah. She wasn't watching Naziah's brother. He ran away from the home like a couple years ago. I think at like the age of 15, 16. Like, grandma just don't care. Grandma is just there to collect a check, period. So like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how she even got custody of Naziah and her brother, because she lost her kids through to CPS, because like I said, they were all running away. So I don't know how she even got the custody of her kids anyway.
This shit is tiring, man. If if Naziah is gone, let her rest in peace. If she not, man, inshallah, she make it home. I can't say because she got to be fucked up with something going on. Mentally, she fucked up. I just hope she make it home safe if she not dead, man. But, I mean, if they got him for murder, man, 9, 10, something, just directing them to be dead. Yeah, they worry about the nigga cheating on them and being in the club and being in the streets. They worry about the motherfucking nigga background, or who the nigga really is, or is he a pedophile, or is this, come on, man. Or is my daughter being fast out here? Or my daughter, y'all not worried about what the nigga doing? The nigga be cheating on you and fucking your daughter right under your motherfucking nose, and you don't even know it. Or you know he cheating.
And it's his daughter, too. It's the daughter.
That shit's sickening.
It's the daughter he had by Shannon.
Or in this case, cheating on you with your D's. Fucking your D's, and you don't know it. You gotta know something. Y'all gotta know something. They ain't going in and out that house every day or every night, and y'all not knowing he in that basement. And I'm gonna say this again. I think him and Shannon had a threesome with that little girl, boy.
Oh my God. It's easy.
I just speak what it is, man. They manipulate that little girl mind. They fucked her brain up. So she didn't get the love from her mom and her dad, and her grandma said she had to get the love somewhere else. She wanted the love so bad, and she couldn't get it, so she got it from somewhere else. And somewhere else probably caused her life.
I'm going to end it right there, guys. But yeah, when people don't get the right attention, they'll seek it from anywhere, whether it's negative or positive. So yeah, this case, like I said, it's been rough. That was him doing a Facebook Live, and somebody ran across it, and I ran across it today. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I was like, huh, so yeah. Yeah, I thought it seemed like them two were involved. But from what I understand, like I said, they have taken those Shannon and Marquita's kids. So it makes me wonder, this video, it was done after this video came out. So I don't know. But there's so much more, guys, I want to cover with you. I have a list of things here I want to show you. So I'm not going to do it tonight, of course, but I am going to pop back on here tomorrow around about 6 o'clock, I guess, and give you some more information related to this case. I'd like for you guys to hear the testimony of Jarvis's sister, and she just seemed like she was disgusted with him. But I'd like for you guys to hear that. I wanted to show you a few things that I thought was interesting that I pointed out in this case, but I don't know. So just, man, let me tell you something. If you see something, say something. You know, people don't like to do that stuff anymore, but this is crazy. This is crazy. And like I said, this reminds me so much of the case that I covered on my channel a little while ago. The guy's name was Jonathan, and the girl's name was Ayanna Sawyer. You got to go back and look for that case on my channel. And it was just so much similar to this, except, you know, they've never found her body, but we know she's gone. But yeah, so she was pregnant too. Only difference is she's just a little bit older than Najaya. So, but yeah, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have already done so. I thank you guys for joining. Make sure that you share, definitely share so we can get the awareness out. People need to be aware of what's going on so they can be more alert. Keep their eyes open. You know, stuff could be happening right next door, and you never know. Because what I've learned this day and time is people have a great way of covering stuff up. They really do. All right, guys, that's it for me. Make sure you catch me tomorrow for another part concerning justice for Najaya Harris. And until we talk again, see you next time. Take care.